Hello, and welcome along to How to Solve Telegraph Cryptic Crossword. Glad to have you here. Today we're going to have a go at solving prize cryptic number 31019, which was published on Saturday the 30th of August 2025. As it is a prize cryptic, I won't be able to publish the solution to this one for a little while. There's usually about a 10-day, I think it is, 10 days in which to submit your answers for this. So I'll probably publish this in a couple of weeks' time from when it's actually recorded. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go through the clues one by one as we usually do. Hopefully we'll get all the answers, and I'll explain as we go along how I arrived at the answers, and maybe give you some hints and tips and advice on how to solve cryptic crosswords in general, and the Telegraph Cryptic in particular. Okay, so let's see how we get on. And we start, of course, with one across. Female with slack plant fibre. Okay, so female, the recognised definition of female is F. So let's get us started. Whoops, let's get started. And I think this is flax. So F for female, something that's, if you're slack, you are lax in what you're doing. And flax is a plant fibre. This is a good example of a cryptic crossword clue. Most cryptic crossword clues, not all, but most, are divided into two parts. A straight part, a straight definition, if you like, of the answer, and a cryptic part. And what you normally find is the straight part, the definition part, is either at the beginning or the end of the clue. So if you're not quite sure where to start with a cryptic crossword clue, the first thing would be to have a look and see if you can work out which end is the straight part and which end is the cryptic part. As I say, there are a few clue types where that doesn't apply, but in general, it does. And looking at this one, we have female with slack plant fibre. Looking at this and knowing that female is often abbreviated to F, my thought was, okay, so the cryptic part is at the beginning and the straight part is at the end. So we're looking for a straight definition of plant fibre, or maybe just fibre, which lead me then to look back and say, okay, F for female, and then lax for slack, which gives flax as a plant fibre. Okay. 3 across. Hiding debt, a politician, and Scottish footballers like frogs. Okay, so debt appears regularly in cryptic crosswords, as it's usually an abbreviation of IOU, or IOUs if you see debts, IOUs. And obviously lots of words end IOU or IOUS. A politician could be a senator or something of that ilk, but more often than not it's MP, Member of Parliament, which is the definition for a British politician. So I think this is amphibians. So AMP, a politician, AMP, and Scottish footballers. So a Scottish name is often used as Ian. In there's also Hibs as the Scottish footballers, but frogs are amphibians. So that's good. 10 across. One from Oslo wearing no rubbish. Okay, so again, we're looking at which end of the clue is the straight part and which is the cryptic part. Rubbish is often used as an anagram indicator. So we're looking for an anagram, and I think wearing no is 9 letters long. The clue is 9 letters. So the straight part of the clue, the definition is one from Oslo, made up with the anagram of the letters of wearing no. And of course, somebody from Oslo is a Norwegian. Good. 11 across. Ring back about one tree. Okay, so back is a reversal indicator, suggesting we should put a word in backwards. So again, the cryptic part of the clue looks like it's the beginning here, ringing back about one. The Roman numeral for one is I, so I think there's an I in there somewhere. And so the definition, the straight part, is a tree. Yeah. If you ring somebody, you call them. So call back with I for 1 gives lilac, which is a tree. Very good, 4 in a row. Happy about that. Okay, support for artistic endeavours, question mark. Okay, this is just a straight up cryptic. There's no straight part and cryptic part separately. This is just a straight up cryptic clue. And of course, you're meant to think about support as in help or assistance or aid. But actually a support for artistic endeavours, of course, is an easel, something that you put your artwork on. Okay. 13 across. Ultimately decent or gentle drunk's glasses. Okay, so drunk is another anagram indicator. Ultimately is an indicator to take the last letter of a word. So ultimately decent is T, the last letter, the ultimate letter of decent is T, along with or gentle, all anagram together, gives a word meaning glasses. Now this could be glasses like spectacles, or it could be glasses like beer glasses, wine glasses, that kind of thing. Goblets and tankards and champagne flutes and so on. I'm not seeing the answer for that one just at the minute. So let's go on. Being disrespectful, turn over a lot of underwear. Yeah, okay. So I think this is flippant. So being disrespectful, I think, is the straight part of the clue. So flippant is disrespectful. Turnover could be a reversal indicator, but I think in this case it's literally a word meaning turn over, which is to flip. And underwear are pants. And the words here, a lot of underwear, suggests to us that we shouldn't use all of the word for underwear, but a lot of it or most of it. And you see that quite often in clues where the cryptic part of the clue has a word removed, perhaps at the beginning, perhaps at the end. And in this case, I think we're removing the S of pants, and we get flippant. Okay, child of 5, round American flowering plant. Okay, so again, the cryptic part looks like it comes from the beginning here. Child of 5, round American. And what we're looking for is a word that means a flowering plant, which doesn't narrow it down very much. Except a child of 5 is a quin. 1 of 5 have quads and quins and triplets and so on. So 1 of 5 is a quin. Round could imply that you put the word around a word for America, but in this case, it's a literal round letter, which is O, and A for America to give quinoa. So American sometimes abbreviated to A, sometimes to AM, sometimes to US as well. But in this case, it's A, and we get quinoa. Okay, ignore reorganized district. Yeah. Okay, this is a fairly straightforward clue. So reorganized is an anagram indicator. So it means we need to anagramize one of these two words. Well, only one of them has 6 letters in it, which is ignore. So if we rearrange the letters, reorganize the letters of ignore, we can get a word meaning district, which is region. Okay. Lays around with Tory showing fanaticism. Okay, so Tory is a word for a conservative, capital C conservative, so that can indicate the letters, the word con, C-O-N, sometimes just straight up C for conservative. Yeah, not sure. Lays around. Is the straight part lays around? Not sure. Not sure. Let's go on. Okay, we hear county, rowing crew, take one's breath away. Okay, so we hear is or sounds like homophone indicator. So we're looking for a word that sounds like county, maybe, and then a rowing crew. So a rowing crew is often an 8, E-I-G-H-T. So it could be E-I-G-H-T, a rowing 8. And so I think the straight part of the clue is perhaps to take one's breath away. Okay, so it could be a sounds like a homophone indicator for county rowing crew. So that would be 8 on the end. So that sounds like 8, a rowing crew. Yeah, okay, so this is suffocate. So we have a county in the UK is Suffolk, spelt S-U-F-F-O-L-K. A rowing crew is an 8. And if we have a sounds like Suffolk, sounds like 8, we get suffocate, meaning to take one's breath away. Good. Okay, American idiot before end of day, lacking steadiness. As I've already said, American is often abbreviated to A or AM or US. So I think the straight part of the clue here is going to be lacking steadiness. An end of day, it could be eve or evening, but I think in this case it looks like it's probably a Y. So we're looking for something that means lacking steadiness, like wobbly or that kind of thing, nervy maybe. So I think the Y probably is at the end, but I'm not seeing what that one is. So let's go on. I repeatedly go after information for spirits. Yeah. Okay. So this is genii, and fairly straightforward. I think I repeatedly, so that's 2 I's, I, going after information. So information is often abbreviated to gen, sometimes data, but often gen. And gen and 2 I's, genii, are spirits. Really rare to see a word with double I on it, that's for sure. Okay, 27 across. Unhampered, short distance, not fast. Okay, so a short distance could be something like an inch or even a meter, maybe. So it looks like it's probably a word for unhampered and a word for a short distance, meaning not fast. And fast here could be fast as in the speed, going very fast, or slow, but it could also mean secure. Something that is fast is secured, fastened is secured. Something that's not fast is therefore something that's insecure or unsecured. Insecure, not seeing that one. Okay, 28 across. Newspaper needs year for sending of messages. Yeah, I think this is telegraphy. So the newspaper is the Telegraph, which of course is the crossword that we're doing today. Y is a recognised abbreviation for year. And the straight part then is sending of messages, which is telegraphy. Okay. Next one. Old transatlantic edition. Yeah, okay, so this is... Oh, no, it's not. I was going to say it's aged for old, but I don't think it is. I'm sure it's ED. Edition in book terms is often abbreviated to ed, ED. No, it's used. Okay, so transatlantic is US. Again, we're back to American definitions. So US for transatlantic, ED for edition, and something that is used is something that is old. Okay, let's have a look for one down. Unofficial receiver. Yeah, okay, this is with the F, the N, and the E. This is quite a straightforward clue. Unofficial receiver, one at end edge of garden. So this is what we call a double definition. So 2 definitions of the same word. So an unofficial receiver is a fence, somebody that takes stolen goods and passes them on is a fence, somebody that fences goods. And at the edge of the garden, you often see a fence. So that's quite straightforward. Very good. Right, 2 down. Striking, part of police work. Or striking part of police work. Striking. Okay, I think this is arresting. So again, this is another double definition. Something that's striking and something that's part of police work. Clearly, arresting is part of police work. And if something is striking, it can be said to be arresting. It kind of stops you in your tracks and grabs all of your attention. It is arresting. Okay, graduate away from the sea in part of the Shetland Islands. Yeah, so a graduate has a number of abbreviations. MA, sometimes BENG, sometimes BA, sometimes Bachelor of Arts, Master of Arts, Bachelor of Engineering. In this case, I think it's MA, Graduate, Master of Arts. Away from the sea is inland, and we have mainland as part of the Shetland Islands. 5 down. Wishing to eat, article removed from country. Yeah. Okay, so we're looking for a word meaning wishing to eat with a, which is the definite article, or is it the indefinite article? Removed from a country. Country, of course, is Hungary, and if we remove the a, we get hungry, which is wishing to eat. 6 down. Like certain dictionaries, all big uni ordered. So I think this is an anagram clue. Ordered is an anagram indicator. All big uni is 9 letters. To see uni written like this is a bit of a clue. It would be unusual for it to be used as a word in a crossword clue. In a Telegraph crossword, they would usually use university if they were referring to an actual university. So this made me think it's written uni for a reason, and the reason is it's part of an anagram. So something to do with certain dictionaries, and they are bilingual. So some dictionaries, 2 languages, bilingual, an anagram of all big uni. Okay, 7 down. Not a very big hooter. Okay. So it could mean not. Well, it suggests it means a hooter of some sort. Not a very big. Does it mean, is it a word for very big without the letter A? Don't know, not seeing that. Okay, let's go for the next one. Mysterious ray maybe becoming worker. Yeah, okay, so this is secretary. Oh, if I can spell it correctly. Secretary. So something mysterious is something that is secret. Maybe here is an indicator to anagram or jumble up the letters of ray into ARY, and that gives us an office worker who is a secretary. Went down mountain. Yep, that's fairly straightforward. That's another double definition of went down and mountain. A fell is a type of sort of mountain. We have the fells in various parts of Britain. And went down is fell. Okay, 14 down. Prudence terribly sore in battle. Okay, well, it looks like I think the straight part here is prudence. It looks like it's from the letters we've got in the word already. It's an anagram of the word sore in a word meaning battle. A battle is a fight. So yeah, so this is foresight. So prudence is foresight. And so, as I said, it's an anagram of sore, S-O-R-E, rearranged in a word meaning battle, which is a fight. And we get foresight. 15 down, exasperating for very old leader. Okay, so a leader is a king, and we have the old of very old. Exasperating. Okay, so I think this is actually provoking. So if you're for something, you are pro it. So pro is an equivalent for. Pro often is used as an abbreviation for professional as well. But in this case, if you're pro rather than anti, you are for something. V is a recognized abbreviation of very. O is a recognized abbreviation of old. So VO, king, getting us exasperating. 17 down. Non-riotous fooling around is disreputable. This looks like, so fooling around is another anagram indicator. And no riotous, I think, has 9 letters. Yep. And it fits with beginning and ending with N and S, as we've already got. So it's a word meaning disreputable from the letters of no riotous. No, not seeing that. Need a few more letters, I think. Okay, 18 down. Man caught by live flying creature, huge beast. Yeah, okay, so it's not live, it's live. So the answer is if I can spell it, behemoth. Behemoth. Oops, drop that H in there. So, man is he, caught by live, which is to be. To be is to live. A flying creature is a moth. So if you have he in the middle of be moth, you get behemoth, which is a huge beast. 21 down. Strange affair, supplying material for baskets, etc. And with the 2 A's and strange as an anagram indicator, yeah, it looks like it's an anagram of affair, which is raffia. So actually that was quite straightforward. Strange affair, anagramming the word affair, gives a material for baskets, etc. Raffia is material for making baskets and mats and so on. Okay. Match having no followers. Yeah, okay, I think this is final. So this is a straight up cryptic clue. Again, maybe match with no followers might make you think of followers as in football fans perhaps, or sports fans, but in fact it's the final match is the last one. There are no matches after that. That's the answer. 24 down. Small amount left inside jar. So it looks like we need L for left somewhere. And this could be read in 2 ways. It could be the straight pot could be a small amount derived from a L inside a word for a jar, like a tin or a can. So can with L in it would be clan, but that doesn't really mean small amount. Or it could be read as small amount, a small word for a small amount with L inside, meaning jar. So a bit is a small amount. That would give blit or built. Dot is a small amount. Dolt. Don't think dolt means jar. No, let's go on. 25. Yankee lied about surrender. Okay, so this is yield. So Y is the NATO alphabet letter represented by the word Yankee. So that's okay for Y. And then about, another anagram indicator for the letters of lied. So Y with the letters of lied together gives a word meaning surrender, which is yield. Okay, that's a pretty good first sweep. We've been through all the clues in both directions, and we seem to have Done pretty good there. That's kind of 3/4 of the clue. Crossword, maybe even more. Okay, let's have a look at this one then. This is this anagram of or, gentle, and tea. Yeah, okay, this is a slightly unusual word. Oops, I think this is lorgnette. Not a particularly common word. But yeah, so glasses is lorgnette, and as we said, it's the last letter of decent, T, and or gentle mixed together gives us lorgnette. 7 down. Not a very big hooter. So is it a hooter? Could be a horn or a buzzer, or but hooter is sometimes owl. Could it be owlet? Maybe it's not amphibians. Maybe it's not amphibians. What if that was? Pretty sure it's amphibious something. If that was owlet for a small owl, so not a very big hooter. What does this? Ah, okay. So it is det. I hadn't got the det part with amphibians. I'd missed the det bit out, hadn't I? So a det is IOU, which I think I actually said, but managed to convince myself of a different answer. So AMP is a member of Parliament. The Scottish football team is Hibernian, which are abbreviated to HIBS, HIBS, hiding the word for det, IOU, and frogs are amphibious. Okay, that's good. Happy with that one. All right, 20 across. Lays around with Tory showing fanaticism. Yeah, okay, so this is a sort of double anagram-y bit. So this is zealotry. So it's not as clear from the clue. Certainly around as an anagram indicator for lays would give zeal. But we're actually expected here to anagramize Tory as well. When we anagramize those two separate words to put them together, we get zealotry, which is showing fanaticism. Okay, 27 across, unhampered, something free. Maybe short distance, not fast. Foot free. No, close. It's foot loose. So something, if you're unhampered, you're footloose and fancy free. Short distance is a foot, and not fast, loose. So we have fast and loose as a sort of combination of words, common phrase, fast and loose. So the other one from fast and loose that's not fast is loose, and footloose, unhampered. Okay, 17 down was that anagram of no riotous. Yeah, okay, so this is notorious. That's good. Okay, so as we say, anagram of no riotous, and to be disreputable is to be notorious. Okay, so we've got 2 left. Yeah, let me just have a quick check through the other clues, make sure I've not mistyped anything. They look okay, I think. Yeah. My fat fingers haven't got in the way today. Okay, down to the last 2, 24 across and 24 down. American idiot before end of day, lacking steadiness. No, still not seeing that one. All right, let's try 24 down. Small amount left inside jar. Okay, so this is jolt. So a small amount is a jot left inside, and jar This isn't a jar as in a tin or a can, as I'd originally thought it was to jar, as in to be jarred by something, to be jolted by something, which gives jolt. And then an idiot is a jerk. I suppose it's more of an American saying than an English one. So American idiot before end of day, lacking steadiness, gives jerky. Okay, there we are. After I put in the letter K, it asked me did I want to submit the puzzle, so I said yes. I've submitted the puzzle. So we'll see. I think it looks like it came back and said that the 5th of September was the closing date for entries for this one. So I'll make sure I post this video after the 5th of September. Otherwise there'll be trouble. Good. Okay, well that's the solution today. Hope you enjoyed that. That's all the clues explained. Some of them fairly straightforward. A couple of slightly odd ones there. Lorgnette is not a particularly common word for sure. And I had a bit of trouble with amphibians and amphibious, but we got there in the end. So it's good. Good puzzle, not too difficult. The Telegraph Cryptic Prize Cryptics on Saturdays and Sundays are often a little bit more tricky, but that wasn't too bad, and that's done in about less than half an hour, which is good. Okay, well thanks for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed that. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to give it a like, and if you want to see more videos like this, then please subscribe to the channel so you'll get notified when I publish more videos. With all that being said, have a good day. Thanks for joining, and see you again soon. Cheers. Bye.